And I will be presenting about Adolf Loos and his essay, Ornamentalism and Crime. A little bit of background. After Loos came from a family of stonemasons, decided to visit the U.S., lived in New York, Philadelphia, as well as other cities, particularly Chicago, where he was very much impressed by the simplicity, functionality, and pragmatism of American architecture, giving birth to architecture styles such as the Chicago style, admired the industrial design, the mass production methods. In 1896, Adolf returned to Vienna and began his practice, where he became an early critic of Art Nouveau, which was popular in Vienna at the time, especially with the aristocracy, which were funding a lot of public works. Art Nouveau emphasized flowing lines, organic form, and intricate ornamentation, which was criticized by modernists like Loos for being overly decorative and lacking functional purpose. This is very beautiful, but most of the pieces in the facade lack any purpose to it at all. A lot of Anthony Gaudi's facade points, as we know, provided no structural support. All this came in the columns that were internal to the structure itself. But it's also the Austrian secessionist movement was coming at this time, which was Art Nouveau in a sense, but its own thing as well. It emphasized ornamentalization as well as stylized and symbolic art, though. Secessionist building that you can see right now was the crowning piece of this. It was, of course, still opposed by Loos, who criticized the reliance on ornamentalization and decoration aesthetics. Again, looking at the secessionist building, you wouldn't know exactly what the purpose of it was. What you do see, however, is how beautiful it is. And that was very much criticized by Loos. Form should follow function. He very much was a modernist. He focused on simplicity, clarity, and clean lines, symmetry, and angularity. He advocated for functional stripped-down architecture that reflected the modern life of the working man. This came in the Steiner and Mueller houses that he built 1910 and 1930, respectively. A little bit of background, this count is coming in industrialization, where many people are still calling for modernism, and nationalism is at fervor. Many people, especially in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, are fighting for their nations to become independent from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And they feel that the excessive wealth seen in Vienna and in the aristocracy of the empire is in stark contrast to the lives that many working class people are living in the empire, and things need to change. And ornamentalism was one of those things that many people felt was unnecessary, particularly Loos, who believed it was primitive in nature and saw the cultural regression that it gave and impeded progress and modernization. If all you care for is beauty, how can you advance as a society? The main point was that ornamentation was unnecessary, wasteful, and a hindrance to society. There was the economic argument, the moral argument, as well as the cultural and health and hygiene arguments to Adolf Loos's beliefs. And then the evolution of culture marches with the elimination of ornament from useful objects. Adolf Loos, again, a heavy critic of ornamentalization. But it was heavy, when it was received, it was highly critical. Most people were opposed to what Loos suggested because at that time it was a very popular thing in many architectural styles to do, to add ornamentation to your buildings. It was a cornerstone, a centerpiece of a lot of buildings to show the architect that he was very creative and he was very unique. A little bit of a line of events that you can see. Most of these are in one way or shape another influenced, or he himself influenced classical architecture with its symmetry and emphasis on material over ornamentation. Quality of materials is emphasized in both Loos's the classical architecture and Chicago styles, whereas Vienna Secession takes that high high quality materials and then ornamentalizes it. 1908, of course, he publishes Ornament and Crime, which shortly thereafter he builds and designs Steiner House, which is his cornerstone of his beliefs. The Bauhaus movement is funded in 1919, which is a reaction style, and it is complementary in his beliefs. The international style and the modernists are advancements to it, further taking advanced techniques to building buildings and simplifying them and making them more rigid and angular in design. And then brutalism is the far right result of modernism, taking high quality materials and further dumbing it down by making it cheap and speedily built, and sacrificing the high quality look and the high quality finish for speed and purpose. Again, that was a quick rundown. I very much appreciate your time. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful rest of your day.